You know who it is? All right, this is the third movie I'm reviewing today. I'm doing, I did Napoleon, which is lackluster directing by Ridley Scott, but the movie was decent. It was watchable. But Vanessa Kirby, Joaquin Phoenix, they're good actors, so you don't need to worry about that one. And then I just did Looking for Her, which was my best movie of the last 2 years, without a doubt. It was an indie movie. It was a Christmas movie. It was just great. Alexander Swarens, just remarkable directing skills, good acting overall. The movie was just, easily a standout. And I don't get many good romance movies that aren't tacky, full of the same, white lady, white dude, good paying jobs, and then it doesn't work out, even though money is normally the reason. Like, either you like them or you don't. I don't know why people always go into these big things of like, oh, is it gonna work out? Is it not gonna work out? And then like all these podcasts be talking about 1,000,000 hours about all their exes. Bro, people just be ridiculous sometimes, and it's because people don't have the resolve to commit to stuff. And like it'd be frustrating for me because I have the resolve to commit to stuff most of the time. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but like I'm gonna go for my dreams and stuff like that. So a lot of times people be saying all this stuff like, oh, my ex, what do you actually feel? What do you actually want? Then do it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's my sassy get off my stinking soapbox of the day. But a lot of people be saying things, but it's not actually something. It's not actually substance. They're just saying things because they're trying to, put a barrier between like their fear and what they actually want. And just a lot of these romance movies and things like that, they just do it all the time, and it's just tacky. So it doesn't make for a good romance movie because it's just a whole lot of like BS. Like I saw this one movie, and they could have been together. Like if you like them, you're gonna go for them. Like if they're the one, you're gonna change. Like love is supposed to be something that transcends time, history, or not. It transcends, everything, and you love them. If you love them, you're going to do what you're supposed to do. Like, I'll lose friends because I love them and I want to help them. If I'm going to say something that's true that they're not going to like and they want to defriend me, all right, I'll say it because it will help you, improve your life. If it's a loved one or a family member or a significant other, a partner, and it's something that's a truth bomb that's going to, make things uncomfortable, but it's truth and it's going to help them in the long run, you have to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should, because you love them, And you can't live your life in fear and be like, this whole bubble world of protecting people, lawnmower parents doing everything for their kids and then bringing them along, or helicopter parents who are thinking like surveilling their kids to like the extreme degree for no reason. You're not allowing them to have the trial and error and failure of it. Will only lead to bad things, But anyways, let me continue. I'm not even doing Looking for Her or a romance movie. I had to get on my soapbox because you already know who it is. You already know what it does. But anyways, I'm going in circles. I'm doing Mystic River. Mystic River has Sean Penn. Mystic River has Kevin Bacon. Mystic River has Lawrence Fishburne. There's some other actor in there, but his performance wasn't I'm going to mention him anyways. Let me see. But this movie is really good. Directed by Clint Eastwood, who's he's up there with the best of the best. And I like Clint Eastwood. He did $1 Million Baby. He did a bunch of other movies. And, Clint Eastwood is, I normally don't read reviews, but I did for this movie. And there's this movie's too heavy-handed. Well, this movie is a masterpiece, so stop complaining. And, there's some, especially thinking these couch potato, regular degular marks. They always have something to critique about. And it's you don't understand, you have to appreciate the movie for what it is. Every movie is not going to be specifically catered to your preferences, your likes or dislikes. And people always be complaining about stuff, but it's just a lack of foresight and lack of, I feel just maturity overall. So I'm taking shots at that because it's the same frustrations I had with the Marvels, where people were just complaining because it was women, and they were like finding excuses and other things to put in this crybaby box of things to complain about. But in reality, they were just complaining that women were on screen, and people want to be like, oh, I don't care what you're saying. That's the actual truth. Like it's crazy. And the same thing happens with pro wrestling. It's just like I think like Cora Jade, this wrestler, she just got a boob job. There's the reason she got a boob job is because her audience is a bunch of couch potato dudes and a bunch of like people in this misogynistic world. So you got a boob job. That's a common thing in pro wrestling. Common thing with singers and musicians that are female. You gotta look the part to appeal to people and for a paycheck. So and then like that, if anybody says anything about like OnlyFans being bad for people or things like that, I'm like, shut up. OnlyFans is great because people get it's a good inner service. It's a business exchange, It's like, oh, that's immodest, immoral. Whoever's saying this, shut up, because haters, and you probably indulge in the same things, and people are so hypocritical, or people will just hate themselves, and they'll try and project this lie while they're actually doing something opposite. So I don't want to hear any of that, any nonsense, any smoke. First of all, because that comment got me riled up. Like I said, I normally don't do comments. If I read them, I'm going to be riled up. But like to say that one director is too heavy-handed and it's not good is such an ignorant and unintelligible mindset and perspective, because you don't know how movie works and you don't know basically how the world works. What one perceives as heavy-handed is not what another person might perceive as heavy-handed. Because Clint Eastwood, I agree, he is a heavy-handed director. He will really hit the point of whatever he's trying to say home. He's not going to be like, oh, but I like that. He's not especially all Clint Eastwood movies when he's just acting in all the westerns. He's showcasing the importance of the story. That's another way to tell the story, and that's it's a directing style. It's something. It's a different I'm a basketball person. It's a different skill set in the toolbox. In basketball, you can do a layup 1,000 different ways. You can score the ball 1,000 different ways, and just because it's a 3-pointer, that doesn't mean you have to shoot it from the same point. And it's just differences and perspectives and styles that different directors have. So when people were complaining about the style of a director, which really, it was like, oh, it's too heavy-handed. I'm like, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Heavy-handed, that's his directing style. Do you complain about Zack Snyder when he has a visual style? Do you complain about Christopher Nolan when he's being this suave European UK actor? Do you complain about stinking Francis Ford Coppola when Francis Ford Coppola is doing stinking The Godfather, and is this very detailed and this very cerebral, precise movie, or stinking David Fincher where he cares about the level of a table that you're never gonna notice, or even Bonnie Hunt when she did Return to Me, which I really enjoyed, or stinking Vera Farmiga, when she's directing stinking Higher Ground 2011. Y'all just complaining about stuff that doesn't make any sense. And normally I try not to talk about this because I'll just get frustrated and kind of pointless, but sometimes you gotta just air it out, and I'm doing it in front of a camera. But anyways, it's just educate yourself just a little bit, or just understand that it's not just about you or your personal preferences in a movie. Because I also, when I was doing the Planet of the Earth thing, this guy was like, oh, this movie's not as, one of the Planet of the Apes is not as good because it's heavy-handed. I'm like, that's the movie. It's trying to get a message about. You don't want it to be preachy. It is preachy. That's literally the movie. Don't complain about a movie being what the movie is. And that's the whole joy of having a director. This is the whole joy of having stinking, for the video game people, you have Ninja and you have other stinking video game people and streamers. You have stinking Kai Sense and you have stinking the Reacts channel on YouTube. You just have all these different things. It's variety. It's differences. And it's it's coming from people who have experienced different walks of life, different stories, and that's the beauty of it. And you're enjoying, the everything. You're just enjoying humanity, you're enjoying people's stuff, and that's what makes movies good. That's what makes stories good. You know, when it feels real, when it is real. You know, when it's authentic to that specific person, but when it's different. You know, you don't want the same cookie cutter things every single time. So, anyways. That's my soapbox. But anyway, as for Mystic River, the movie, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece because of, you know, Clint Eastwood's directing style. It's just so, you know, it's telling the point, but it's doing it in an artistic way. And it's kind of funny. It's like, you see Clint Eastwood, and he's supposed to be like this serious, grumpy, stoic, grumpy, like, kind of character, you know, you know, who just, you know, he's just he has grit, like, he is grit, you know, but, you know, I think he actually did the score for something, but he's very artistic, he's very creative, and he just shows that, like, he has this ability when he's directing, he has this cool stability, but also this grit that he can kind of unleash, and this, you know, this mean, raw, essence of just realism that he always puts in all of his movies. It's like he's presenting the ugly truth, you know, and in a realistic, but unapologetic form, just like it is in real life. And Clint Eastwood is so good at that. It's like this real thing that's realistic, that's true, even though the movie may be fiction, but it's like a true thing that will have to happen to someone, or it's just a realistic scenario that he just puts in front of your face, and he's like, look at this. You see it? Look at it again. But he does it with like this artsy magic type of thing that he's just so good at that. But anyways, the plot of the movie is good. The movie itself is good. There are a couple plot holes, which I was kind of like, is this a masterpiece? Is this a masterpiece? Because one, the ending is great. You got stinking top tier actors like Kevin Bacon and stinking Lawrence Fishburne, and then you have stinking who else is in? Lawrence Fishburne, Kevin Bacon, Sean Penn, and then the two other actors. But I think it just does such a good job of like, the movie is about having like power over your past. And I think this movie does a really good job of it, from the opening scene to the ending scene. And the opening scene and the ending scene, he tells the movie and the story like over and over again, in just different scenes and just different segment of the movie, which is why, like, from the opening scene when they take the kid and then they bring him back, and then from the ending scene where, you know, you got three different vehicles leaving and fading away, you know, and then you have to set the whole story in itself. It's just like the same story over and over again, but it's like layered over. So it's just again, masterful job by Clint Eastwood. The movie overall is stinking great. It was enjoyable. Sean Penn did a really good job in this movie. He reminded me a lot like the guy from the Arrow guy, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's character. There's people behind me, so I'm walking. So that's all, folks. This movie is great. Credit to all the actors and everybody in this movie, because I think I missed one of the main actors. But this joint was hot sauce. It was really good. Thank you for recommending it. My coworker. Anyways, yeah, Mystic River. Yeah, it's a master. It's not like the masterpiece, like all the way up here, but it's a masterpiece because it's just, you know, it's so artsy. It's so well crafted, and it's so well, like, it's so unique and special the way that Clint Eastwood directs this movie, because he just like layers over the same story and just, you know, but stays very solid in the center of, you know, what the theme is, what the story is, having power over your past. It's a very beautiful story. The credit to the writer, but overall, like, the movie was directed excellently. It was phenomenal. And Clint Eastwood, he's an A-lister in so many different categories. He's an A-lister actor, and he's an A-lister director. And, you know, Clint Eastwood, man, give him an indie movie. Oh man, he's just so good. Like he hits it like it's like if he was a baseball player, he would just be a heavy hitter. Like boy hits so hard. Like it might not all you know. What I'm saying? He just hits so hard. When he shows up, it's a wrap. Anyways, movie was spectacularly awesome. Not spectacular. It was just, it's kind of feels like a regular movie, but the more you go into it, it's just so deep and it's so good. He's just such a heavy hitter. But anyways, the movie was really good. I would say great. Definitely a masterpiece. Go watch The Joint. Mystic River. I think it was in the 70s. But anyways, just go watch Mystic River with Sean Penn.